Good morning, everybody. It's Chris from Serene Education with the 4 Majors Signs update for the 10th of October 2013. Morning, guys. I'm just going to be looking at the 4 Majors this morning, starting with the Euro against US dollar using the FX8 Ultimate template, the indicator bars plus the indicator box here on the hard right edge. Okay, let's have a look and see what happened yesterday for Euro, and very negative indeed. So, complementing that bearish engulfing candle we had just recently, we had a slight pullback over the coming days. However, yesterday pulling back, and where price is trading right now is at the 50% fib retracement on the monthly fib. Here you can see this blue line over here. This represents my monthly fib from my highest high to my lowest low, and you can see quite clearly where that 50% retracement level is. Prior resistance and new support just recently, however, not moving any higher than the current highs we saw just recently on the early parts of October, failing to move any higher and subsequently making lower swings over here on our intermediate trend. So the long-term trend very much up, and you can see the actual indicator box telling us that our monthly, weekly, and daily still very much favoring the upside. However, the sentiment intraday has been waning, and very much more negativity has been factored on price, primarily because price has failed to make any higher highs. And if you're not making higher highs, it's going to be making swing lows. And if you do see swing lows forming, then ultimately what we're seeing is a change in market sentiment and a potential for a change in trend direction. Notice the daily swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high breach. Now it's broken this. The next level it's going to move to is the price support and resistance level swing, and that's where we are trading right now at the 50% retracement. So notice the candles still very much positive. Okay, we had an indication here where we had a red arrow, red candles. However, we're trading into the institution as well as another fib retracement level. Here we've been moving higher. Candles are still very much blue. However, we do have a new red arrow. So it's just saying, heads up, Chris, change in market sentiment potentially happening. Be aware of it. And that's all you're doing. So you had one over here. The candles were still blue. We had a fallback. However, the long-term sentiment was still very much up on this particular pair. It's the same here. Okay. The daily is telling us, heads up, we're seeing consolidation. And yes, we are. And you can quite notice, you see that the OSMA level has been telling us we haven't really seen any more upside movement, and hence the reason why it's now looking negative. The long-term trend is still very much positive. The RMO is still well above the zero level. Okay, so we have to take that on board. As long as it maintains above this 50% fib retracement here, where price is trading right now, which is at 1347.84 and change, then the long-term sentiment for this particular pair is still very much to the upside. You can see that the swing highs have, the major swing highs are very much there, and if we do see a break of that 50%, then we should be looking potentially down here at the 50 period moving average as our first port of call before we see the weekly fib here at the 23.6 being our next potential target. So at the moment now, intraday, we're still looking for that positiveness because that 50% retracement level is still below price. You can see here we had a lot of consolidation when price moved back to it over a number of attempts. It's the same scenario over here, so we're going to be well aware of that. So you can see the price moving lower. If this is to be genuine negativity, we do have the first parts of that. If you look at the 4 hour here, we can see that the majority of the indicators are showing negativity, and the R squared is complementing that. However, on our 4 hour, our institution moving average is still below price. So that effectively would be our first target, if and when price closed below the 50% retracement level here. Very, very important. If we do get a close, then we could look to see at about 81 pips to that next target. That'll be our ultimate target because price will always be drawn back to the institution moving average. Here you can see a lot of consolidation support here. So it's imperative that this to be negative long term. We do need to see a breach of this candle. Okay, so anybody looking for intraday selling opportunities, got to see a physical closed lower than this level to see any opportunities for further selling long term. Notice the RMO has started to dip below. This RMO indicator is below. However, we have a major support. Got to wait for that to be breached. Then we can start looking for shorting opportunities. Sterling against the US dollar. Here again, like its European counterpart, a lot of resistance above price. We've had a lot of stalling. Reattempt of the weekly just recently through mid-September. Pullback and then a reattempt, breaking higher nonetheless. However, when the pullback candle was in play, we failed to see it actually finding support above the 23.6 on our weekly, and subsequently price fell lower, engulfing the prior 2 days at a major support and resistance level, and subsequently the outcome was going to be testing back to price support and resistance swings, which it did. Then we had a bounce. However, yesterday's candle pretty much telling us the sentiment still wants to be moving lower, and subsequently what we have here is a bearish engulfing candle, and very, very negative setup over here indeed. So what we do is we have a start of a trend, and now we have a consolidation area. So if we wanted to, we could take the lows we saw here in June of this year to the current high that we've seen through the latter parts of September going into the October. You can see with the 23.6 fib retracement level now on our daily, our SEX price right now, it's trading at that level of 23.6. Get below that, then we could start looking towards that the daily 38.2 and the weekly 38.2, which are pretty much major support and resistance levels, which would be our next potential target if we saw this level of here being breached. So quite clearly, price is testing the pullback range at the 23.6 on our daily. Also, the uptrend, swing high, swing high, swing high. Price is still making swing highs. Okay, this is the only one over here that we need to be well aware of. Break this, and then we're making swing lows. Swing high, swing high. Okay, we've got a price swing low now. However, we've got to see a genuine break of this area here at the 15.9, just below the 1600, and then we could start looking towards these levels of here, the price support and resistance level, roughly around the 1573 and change mark as our next target. RMO is still above the zero line, so we still, candlesticks are still positive. You can quite clearly see that. We do have a red arrow though, and the MACD Osimo level is below. Notice, very indecisive intraday. More negativity in play. However, long-term sentiment still favoring the upside just. So play your cards right, be patient, wait for the breakout here below this level here, and then look for shorting opportunities down to these weekly lows here, the weekly fib lows, which happen to be price support and resistance level. US dollar Swiss franc. Here again, we have seen swing lows just recently. You can see my long-term trend have been to the downside. However, you can quite clearly see that price has stalled now as we've headed lower. We've had swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low, breach. So yesterday's candle has broken this price support and resistance level, this consolidation support and resistance level here at 90.81. You can see we have a blue arrow. However, the candlesticks are still very much positive. Notice the long-term sentiment on our indicator box is still very much long-term negative. Okay, all our moving averages above price, including the most important one, the institution. However, we're starting to see a bit of positiveness intraday. So we're seeing buying against the long-term trend. So as it stands at the moment now, where price is trading, you can see that we are trading this consolidation area over here. It has closed the daily candle has closed above the 20-period moving average. Notice the RMO is still very much below, so we're just seeing a pullback in a negative trend. The OSMO is above, which is coinciding with this pullback that we're seeing. So as it stands now, if it continues to be this way, this is a nice bullish engulfing candle. It's engulfed all this indecision here. We could see price intraday moving back up to price support and resistance levels. We could look at potentially this level around here, this price support and resistance level here, which is at right 91.89 and change, back to the 50-period moving average before we see the long-term trend and major fib level support and resistance here in the shape of the 23.6 of our weekly being our long-term positive trend to the upside intraday. So as it stands now, we go to our 4-hour time frame. You can see that our next target, you can see there's a lot of buying sentiment on our 4-hour time frame. The R squared is complementing that buying. However, you can see our institution moving average is above price, so it's a negative signal. However, we could use it as a physical target. Okay, so that's what we do. Look towards the institution, which is where this support and resistance level is here at 91.89, and we know exactly how much there is in the tank for that particular trade. We're looking at a healthy 76 pips and change. So as long as it stays above this consolidation support, this price support and prior resistance level, it pulls back. You can see a lot of indecision candles here. The RMO has just gone above. We have a blue arrow. The candlesticks have gone blue, but not a very positive candle nonetheless, but the RMO is very much above. Look for buying opportunities to this level. If we see price on the 4-hour closing back below this price support and resistance level here at the 90.81, then look for price to continue back towards this intermediate trend here before we see price moving back towards these current lows we've just come from, which were the lows here in the latter part of, the early parts of October as our ultimate target to the downside. Last bit there, US dollar Japanese yen. There we go. You can see we've been in a consolidation, almost like a wedge formation. The institution moving average on our daily has been acting as a major support level recently through most of August, through September, then going into October. However, that institution failing to actually support price near term as the negativity has been far waiting on the US dollar, and sure enough, we had the breakout. We had a breakout, we had a slight pullback, consolidation. And this has all happened at a weekly fib here at the 23.6 as well. So a lot of support being found through here. We had a bearish engulfing candle close. We expected a pullback, and then we were looking for the continuation candle, which was yesterday. to actually confirm this is negativity. And what did it do? It pulled the opposite direction, moving back up against the weekly fib here. So here still very much still trading below the institution and trading below the institution for the first time in a full year. So this is still very much negative. You can see the red arrow, red candles, RMO below, MACD clearly below. So we're still looking for long-term negative sentiment on here. You can see that the indicator box very much all over the place. We have a lot of, the R-squared is complementing both buying and selling intraday, so it's all over the place. I feel that if we still maintain below the institution, the overall factor is still one of negativity. We would need to get below the 23.6 to definitely confirm this is very negative indeed. The longer she spends above the 23.6, then ultimately the institution moving average is going to be targeted a lot more, and we could see a reattempt of the current highs we've just come from. So it's imperative this to be negative, to maintain below the institution, but to get below this weekly support and resistance level, fib level here at 97.22, and then we could start targeting the long-term support and resistance level lows here at our monthly fib, which is at 38.2, which is below the 94,300 mark. Okay, guys, that's it, short and sweet today. If you are using this particular template, any one of the Serene Education templates, please back it up with sound money management. Follow the rules of the template to start with, and then follow the guidelines for your money management. Very, very important. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't adhere to money management rules, they are worth squat. Nothing at all. Okay, very, very important. And then keep it simple. Make sure you're well aware of major support and resistance levels on your monthly and weeklies. Tile those in your dailies, and they will then give you target areas intraday. It'll tell you what your possibility of potential trades are intraday, etc., leading, and you'll be a lot more profitable because you have something that works, and you know your guidelines, and you know your major support and resistance levels. Follow up with money management rules, and you will be on a winner. Okay, that's what we want to do as traders. Keep all our probability in our favor as high as possible. We don't speculate. We let the indicator box or the actual template tell us what we need to be seeing, and then we just gauge and see where she's trading, and then we'll apply our rules. Okay, so that's it for today. Please be aware of any news announcements. Obviously the Fed shutdown is still going to be a major talking point. Also the debt ceiling debate's also going to be going on. That's going to be the next area. Just looking to see if there's any major news out today. There's a lot for both the euro as well as sterling. Then we have some news this afternoon for US, the Canadian and the US markets. A lot of members of we have an FOMC member speaking. We have a Bank of Japan member speaking. We also have a European Central Bank Draghi speaking this afternoon. So a lot of speakers this afternoon, guys. Please be aware of it. When there's a lot of speakers, it tends to be volatile because everybody's speculating exactly what it is that they're trying to say. We have the official bank state rate today for sterling at 12 o'clock noon. We also have asset purchasing facilities. Is the Bank of England going to continue with the 775 billion pound purchasing plan, asset purchasing plan? Are we going to see a change in interest rates announcements at 0.5%? Then we have the MPC rate statement. So a lot for sterling this afternoon, guys. Europe. So very, very important. If you are trading sterling, please be aware of that news. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. Have a fantastic trading day, and I'll catch you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Until then, trade serenely.